Stand with Hong Kong! 香港人加油!
We write to you as a group of concerned Hong Kong citizens to express our gravest concerns regarding the recent egregious misconduct of the Hong Kong police force in their crackdown on protesters and their dereliction of duty in failing to protect citizens from organized criminal violence. We are particularly concerned that our chronically dysfunctional law enforcement agencies have exposed Hong Kongers to serious threats of violence, constituting a situation of imminent danger and emergency for civilians.
I'm very worried. I'm very worried for the Hong Kongers. Since June 12, with the first violent crackdown by the police, it basically opened the can of worms, and now this becomes a staple. Which the police didn't start, using these extreme measures, I don't think it would have got to the place that we are now.
I think the accusation is absolutely absurd, and people need to stop believing those propaganda. For people that truly want to understand this protest, the journalists, they really need to stand in the crowd along with the people to really understand what is going on, instead of having the government officials pointing fingers at them.
This is an example of a classic strategy by the Chinese central government and their mouthpieces to deflect from the real issues, even though the Chinese government has promised Hong Kongers in 1984 in the Sino-British Joint Declaration that our autonomy, our way of life, our rights, including the right to universal suffrage, will be guaranteed for 50 years. These promises have not been met. They are deflecting from these broken promises.
I see a lot of the tension between the Hong Kong identity and the Chinese identity permeating into even the educational sphere, and there is a need to defend the identity of a Hong Konger, and that's part of the reason why I'm here, is to show people where I draw the line.
I understand that they come from a background where critical thinking is suppressed, access to information is very limited, and so perhaps their reaction to this kind of solidarity action is very natural to them. But I want to encourage them to look deeper and actually talk to Hong Kongers and listen to what they have to say, and they will realize that actually an attack on a government is different from an attack on the country. As long as the Hong Kong and Chinese government refuses to listen to the protesters' demands and refuses to acknowledge their mistakes, Hong Kongers will not rest.